So today we're going to talk about the anatomy of the kind of marketing funnel and the automations and how MarTech can beautifully support this kind of wonderful kind of marketing process that we kind of rely on now as marketers, especially within the online and digital realm. But there's some issues. There's some things that are going on within MarTech and kind of funnels overall, and it's causing a lack of completion. It's causing a individual to truly recognize that it's going to happen. So people aren't actually going through the sales funnel that we expect them to do, the one we have built and created to kind of bring them to our yard to offer them the service or the product that we kind of want to sell them, right? So what we're going to go through today is the anatomy of that sales funnel, how MarTech can help it, the traditional ways of looking at MarTech within the sales funnel, and the reasons we really do need to balance humanity, authenticity with that tech. So we do keep growing our kind of connections, our communities, and pushing individuals down that sales funnel so that they complete an action, whether that is purchase, whether that is join our community, join our email list, whatever you've decided that your kind of sales funnel is for. As with any of my kind of webinars, please let me know if you've got any questions. Please add them to our kind of chat and I will edit and kind of make sure that we get those answered before the end of the session. Okay, so who am I? I am a marketing nerd and I truly like to understand data and MarTech and what that means for us as marketers and the consumers that we're trying to interact with and kind of bring into our kind of brand world. I have a digital agency that is now based in Gothenburg and London, so I kind of go between the two. And I am a course tutor very wonderfully at the Oxford College of Marketing for MarTech and AI. I am AI certified within many areas, and I enjoy the curiosity of how tech can truly support us to get more out of our marketing. And I do love being questioned, so please don't be afraid to do that. So today is all about this kind of anatomy of a sales funnel. And marketing funnel automation is not just about software and workflows. Yeah. It's actually about those touch points, those wonderful connections that we want to create and support our customers to do alongside the journey with us. But the biggest question is, and the biggest issue is, that how do we create the balance between efficiency and authenticity? Because there is a sweet spot that we need to aim for. Because as consumers get more savvy, as kind of the world becomes more, saturated with the start of these funnels, those ads, those posts that start these journeys for us, we need to be able to be different and rise above that so that our audiences, clients, and communities actually truly want to go on this journey with us, right? So we have all seen this glorious kind of description or image of a sales funnel. We all know what this looks like, right? And within the process that we want somebody to do with us, we want them to join our kind of world and then go through this, leading to a culmination of not just action, which is actually here, but advocacy and retention. Without MarTech, we are not able to complete these kind of funnels, yeah? And a marketing sales funnel is more than just a roadmap for turning curious browsers, discoverers, initial kind of finders into your world, into paying customers. It's the core framework that actually keeps your entire digital marketing operation truly running smoothly, yeah? And it's the MarTech kind of backbone. So every campaign, automation tool, data-driven insight revolves around guiding our audiences through the stages that we're going to go through next. So that first wonderful stage is awareness. And this is where a lot of sales funnels begin to go wrong. Yeah. This is our prospects' very first encounter with our brand, whether that be through social media, search, a well-placed ad, a QR code on a leaflet, kind of digital and non-digital kind of options. And at this point, our goal is to make a memorable first impression, piquing their interest just enough that they'll want to learn more. So we want to take them from, oh, what is this, to actually starting to make decisions. Yeah. Has anybody seen a really good example or has been sucked into a really wonderful sales funnel recently? You can put it in the chat if you have. Because there's so many of these going on at the moment for every kind of organization. If you actually consider the various different things that actually the different brands kind of do to pull us in and to make us start going on these wonderful journeys, there's actually some incredibly wonderful kind of statistics that we can look at. So how many, on average, for a small SME company who's an e-commerce store, how many funnels do you think are currently they release, like kind of every quarter will do? On average, there's internally maybe 40 to 50 of the same funnel and various different versions ongoing in the wide world. And it's quite interesting when you think about that, because these funnels are a key way to drive people to make a purchase, which is obviously more money in the bank, which is how businesses grow, right? It's the way that those people that discover us digitally, this is the way that we kind of funnel them into making a choice and purchasing with us. So we have the awareness stage, yeah? And a astounding figure from the Marketing Sherpa that was released just at the end of January was that when we did they did a search on kind of how these funnels are actually performing, 79% currently of their funnels are failing to convert into sales. So we're building all these funnels, we're creating all these wonderful things, but 79% of them are not converting. The median conversion rate, according to WordStream at the beginning of February, is 5%. So out of every 100 people that people are bringing into their digital funnels at the moment, only 5% are converting, which is incredibly low. And these funnels take time, energy, content to create, right? So when we're sitting at this kind of awareness stage, we really do need to be making a bigger impact, actually, and which we'll talk about later. So after the awareness stage, once somebody has found us, we then move into the interest and consideration. So now that our audience is actually aware of our existence, they're actively now exploring kind of what we offer. And this is where our content strategy, product details, demos, and testimonials start to work their magic in the funnel, yeah? And the objective here is to show prospects why your brand is worth their time and their money overall, yeah? So we've gone from kind of, they found us, this is where we try and teach them or showcase why it is good to work with us or they're in the right place. And some kind of statistics here is that 50% of people who reach the second kind of tier, the second level into our funnel, they're not ready to buy. 50% are not ready to buy. And some interesting things that you can do here is, I know I talk a lot about AI and hyper-personalization, but when comparing funnels with and without segmentation in this area, those that choose to use AI and hyper-personalization within the interest and consideration stage, they get a 6%, 6 times higher yield, which is a huge amount because people want to be spoken to in the way that they want to, right? And the way that they take in information. So this is the second kind of stage of the sales funnel. We then have our decision stage. And this is where our soon-to-be customers compare our solution with many alternatives, yeah? So we need to make it easy for them to choose us in this stage. One of the great things that I always suggest people to do is to provide transparent pricing, highlight unique benefits, and share success stories that show how your product or service solves real-world problems, yeah? So this is your kind of decision stage. B2B actually generally do better here when we're pushing people down a B2B funnel. They can get 13 to 15% decision and conversion here. And an interesting, just a random kind of fact is that if you include reviews or testimonials in this section, you can increase your conversion by something like 270%. Because you're showing them that other people have chosen to work with you or purchase from you, and it was a great choice, and they got great, wonderful things back from that, right? And now, after the decision section, what we're doing here is we're moving into the action, so the call to action, that kind of push. This is our big moment as brands. So this is where our prospect is potentially ready to buy or sign up. And we need to start giving them a frictionless experience, secure payment gateways, clear instructions, because if not, they're going to leave, they're going to exit the funnel here. They're not going to take that action. And you've curated them all the way down to this point just before they decide to move forward. And all those wonderful things that we can implement. So great, clear instructions, a wonderful experience, are the key things to turn I'm interested into I'm all in. Yeah. So it's kind of like making sure that we give the journey that they deserve within this kind of process. And then we have retention and advocacy. So the journey doesn't end here. A lot of people think action and it ends. Our sales funnel is complete. We have done all the work we need to do. I'm really sorry, but the journey doesn't end at the checkout. We need to keep the relationship going with loyalty programs, helpful follow-ups, and top-notch customer service, yeah? Because those satisfied buyers evolve into enthusiastic supporters who sing praises to friends, colleagues, and social networks. Yeah, so it doesn't end here, like a lot of people will try to. It actually ends here. And this is an ongoing process here, which could potentially lead to another funnel that you push people through. Yeah. And you may be like, okay, that sounds pretty simple. That sounds pretty easy to understand, right? It may be like, oh yeah, look, I can do that. I can go through the 5 kind of really easy areas of a sales funnel. But there are many different types. And you need to think of each funnel model as a different roadmap for guiding potential customers from that first instance of discovering you, all the way through to kind of wanting them to be brand secure with you and to have that long-term relationship. Each map, each version, each model that you could choose might have a different few extra stops, extra processes, a scenic route that you take people along the way, but they're all designed to get you to the same place, to get your kind of individual interested parties to purchase and then to retain and advocate for your brand. So very quickly, you have things like the IDA model, which stands for attention, interest, decision, and action. And that's a very classic model. That's the one that I've spoken through with you today. And it's really useful, and it is the core of many other things because it breaks down the whole customer journey into easy, discernible chunks that you can take straightforward action upon. It's often considered the kind of grandfather of modern sales funnels, proving, I suppose, that the oldies are sometimes still the goodies, right? And then we have things like the satisfaction, the 5th step. So we can have the different kind of additional levels. So the Arthur Frederick Sheldon's 5th step, where we decide to add in extra stages such as satisfaction, because we want to really know why somebody came down the bottom, why they decided to purchase from us, right? We have the McKinsey loyalty loop, which is really interesting. And then McKinsey extends the AIDA concept with a loyalty stage. So this wonderful loop here. And there's so many to kind of look through, and different types of funnels. You truly do need to understand how to choose the best one for your business. So the first thing that you really need to do is to consider your audience and your product. Yeah, B2B. Is it B2C? Is it simple? Is it complex? Is it a quick buy that we can push somebody through incredibly quickly? Or is it a long game, a long decision cycle where this funnel needs to support them through that whole term of deciding whether to work or to purchase? What are your goals? Is it your primary goal to boost awareness, improve conversions, or strengthen loyalty? Because your goal will depend on which kind of type, how many levels, how long the funnel is, how complex, how simple. You also need to look at what tools you actually have in your MarTech stack. So which platforms and tools do you have at your disposal? Some funnels rely heavily on automation, analytics, or content marketing. Others are much more simpler. You can have funnels with 4 emails or 40. So it just depends on how well your MarTech stack can support you to kind of do that, to choose that way of creating your funnel, right? Each kind of funnel model brings its own spin, yeah, its own way of doing the same thing. And that is how to attract, engage, and delight your customers. Whether you're looking to refine your post-purchase experience, cater to multiple segments, or simply streamline your e-commerce checkout, there is a funnel framework for that. And by using the right model for your right business context, you'll ensure your customers don't just buy once and they do stay within that bottom, that loyalty, that retention kind of process. So it's incredibly important to truly understand what you're whacking a funnel in there for. Because if we look at those kind of statistics, if 79% of your marketing leads that go through your funnels do not convert, you need to make sure that the 11% count. And also, are we just not truly understanding how we can optimize each level of the funnel? Because that's quite a low percentage of actual conversion. And if we look at the reasons why we want to keep people in the loyalty, in the retention after they've purchased, it's because it is so much cheaper to retain a customer than to actually find a new one. It's 70% cheaper on average, according to, I think it was eConsultancy at the end of January. So funnels are glorious. They are a way to automate a person's journey with you so that when they've discovered you, they have a place to go. But what we need to do better as brands, as businesses, as marketers, is understand how we can optimize these different parts of the funnel to make sure that more of our wonderful kind of intrigued individuals are actually making it to the lower sections. Because it's all well and good to have loads of people coming in, but if there's not much action, not much loyalty happening at the bottom, that funnel is pretty useless for the reason that you kind of intended it to be or brought it into existence. Yeah. So creating a successful automated sales funnel does not mean sacrificing authenticity. And that is what a lot of brands have done, especially through COVID, because we all of a sudden were like, oh my word, the only way that we can connect with people is online. How do we do that quickly? How do we do that on scale? How do we do that incredibly automated so I can sleep at night and I have time to go to the gym, right? So by reversing this and actually going back to creating funnels that are tech heavy, but also have levels of authenticity and humanity, we will get back to having a higher conversion. And the way that you do that is by combining MarTech with those human aspects. Yeah. And by combining the right MarTech with the genuine human touches, you can guide prospects from initial awareness all the way to advocacy without coming across as robotic. I was once at a wonderful conference a couple of years ago, and one of the speakers said that a true funnel is an invisible funnel. Yeah, because we have been through these as consumers every day. Yeah, we get the email follow-ups. We know exactly what to expect when we put our details in now. If we show interest anywhere, we're like, okay, what is the payoff? And a funnel that feels truly authentic, as though you are being guided on a journey rather than being sold to, is the goal. Yeah. And we've lost sight of that, I think. And we just kind of churn out funnels just to facilitate some sort of need, because I suppose 11% is better than no percent. But imagine if that 11% became 40% and you could improve your funnels rather than just churn out more. Yeah, you must have heard me talk about the bad ad ecosystem. And I suppose we also have the bad funnel ecosystem, where there's so much expectation for consumers at the moment, where we have to put in our information, our data. We are expecting these journeys all the time. And that is a friction to purchase straight away. Yeah. I get frustrated when I get bombarded with emails one after the other. Oh, scarcity mindset here. Oh, coupon here if you're going to do it right now and pay X, Y, or Z. So we truly need to roll back this kind of lack of human touch within these digital processes. And that's me, a true advocate for MarTech AI and all that kind of glorious tech that we have at our fingertips as marketers, right? So let's see how we can do just that, how we can build great blocks of an authentic automated funnel. Yeah, that's actually going to lead you to achieve the goals that you set it in place and you created this funnel for. So let's go back to the awareness stage, top of the funnel. Yeah, our goal here, of course, is to capture attention and introduce our brand. Yeah. Now we know all the traditional MarTech needs here. We need social media management tools. We need to automate those posting schedules, manage engagement, and leverage analytics so we can identify what works, so that top performing content and what doesn't. We need to have SEO and keyword research platforms, so ensure your website and content are easily discoverable by optimizing the terms you truly want to be found for. So where our audience is actively searching, we show up, right? And I did a wonderful talk on GEO a couple of times ago, which is on YouTube if you'd like to go back and watch that. We also have programmatic and advertising platforms where we automate ad placements to reach highly targeted audiences at scale, maximizing visibility where your ideal customers already spend time. So that's a really wonderful thing. But what we need to add in is, how do we make sure that those within the awareness stage recognize a level of authenticity, or what authenticity angle can we bring in to that awareness stage? And two really easy ways to do that, and brands that are doing this really well are seeing the kind of rewards from that, are personal stories and founder narratives. So truly let people in on your why, your how, and your what. Let your audience understand why you created your company, share motivations, challenges, and triumphs of your journey, and to help humanize your brand, because they are things to connect to. Yeah. And also user-generated content. So encourage happy customers, that's a good word, or fans to share their experiences, reviews, or photos. And genuine praise from real people offers social proof that resonates more than polished brand messaging alone. Yeah. So if we were to think of an out-of-the-box MarTech opportunity here, you can have a think about things like immersive brand experiences. So instead of your typical social media ad, and at the base, which is like, have you experienced this? Yes. Do you want something different? Yes. Click here for whatever that is. Obviously, it has to be much more nuanced than that. Please don't go out and use that as your ad copy. But what you can actually do is the top of the funnel, the awareness stage, is do something like create a short augmented reality or virtual reality filter that lets users step into our brand's worlds. And this creative approach generates curiosity and buzz, making your awareness campaign kind of unforgettable and clickable and shareable, all those kind of things. So even though we need these traditional things for like a funnel, in essence, we need to make sure we're adding in this authenticity at this awareness stage. And we need to not be afraid to think of out-of-the-box MarTech opportunities that provide a great in, yeah? And we need to make that lasting first impression that sets the stage for deeper engagement further down the funnel, yeah? So if we have a look at a brand that did that really well, this was Burger King's Burn That Ad AR campaign. So what they did was they had this really wonderful digital experience, which augmented reality in its mobile app to generate buzz without requiring a physical installation. So they encourage users to download or open the Burger King app from social media, their blog, their website, and use its inbuilt AR feature to scan any competitor's billboard or print ad on their phone's camera. And then on that, the competitor's ad would appear to burst into digital flames in real time, creating a playful and kind of share-worthy moment. And after that, users received a mobile coupon for a free Whopper. So they got immediate kind of a response. And this gamifying of an experience with a tangible reward boosted their app downloads, user interaction, and footfall within their spaces. High kind of brand buzz because it was share worthy. It was fun to do. It was fun to talk about and that kind of thing. Because it was fully digital, everything happened in the app. It made it easy for people to participate wherever they found competitor ads, whether in magazines or out in the wild or online. So Burger King showed how AR can elevate a digital awareness campaign, blending tech-fueled novelty with a real-world incentive that not only captured attention, but also spurred immediate action. Now, for me, that's a much more enticing and wonderful way to kind of pull through somebody through a sales funnel. They found out on social media, within a newsletter, within a website that this was a thing. They went into the app, they went out and did it. Glorious awareness kind of journey. And it also is very on brand for them. They're often at feuds with McDonald's and all the rest. So it just kind of was such a beautiful way to come into that sales funnel for new and returning customers, realistically. Now, I know that we may not all have Burger King budget, but you can create QR codes, you can create immersive filters on Snapchat for quite a low cost, and it allows you to just think outside of the box. Instead of doing something like digital or VR like this, AR, you could just have that they scan a QR code on a social post, or they follow an action on a social post and they get a free X, Y, and Z, but it comes with a fun video, for example, or a meme, or, you know, those kind of like enticing, memorable things that we all now expect from brands on the internet, right? So then we have the interest stage. So this is where we're nurturing curiosity and helping potential customers learn more. Yeah. And this is where the traditional MarTech needs, these won't go away, which is why I have kind of made sure I talk about them in each instance. And the traditional MarTech needs are email automation and CRM. This is where you can send timely, personalized follow-up emails within your funnel to prospects based on their actions. So for example, inputting an email address, downloading a PDF, those kind of things, or visiting a specific page, for example. We then have lead scoring and segmentation. So this is where we do things like automatically grouping leads based on engagement level so that your content is always relevant. Nice, really good. And then, of course, if you want to do like a video kind of process, you need webinar or video platform. And this is where you can host virtual events, demos, or Q&A sessions to educate and engage, to push people down that funnel, yeah? The authenticity angle here could be use language that sounds like a real conversation, not canned marketing copy. How often have you received an email from a couple of brands that sounds pretty much the same? It's like they're using templates, or it's ChatGPT, for example. And it just doesn't actually allow you to connect in any way with the individuals kind of that you want to move down that funnel. And then what we can also do to add more authenticity at the interest stage is off-share often the content that we don't think is share worthy. So show your product or service creation process, introduce team members at this point, share an office tour. People do love to be nosy and have an inside look, right? And then the out of the box experience here could be where you create an interactive quiz or mini tool that helps visitors envision how your product or service fits into their life or business. And by allowing your prospects at this stage to co-create their solution, you deepen their sense of investment and trust. And one of the people that do that really well is IKEA. So I don't know if anyone's played with IKEA's kitchen planner. So you gain access to that if you kind of give your details. So that's kind of their start of their funnel. And you get shown this through their newsletter, the IKEA app, social media, all those kind of things. So it's kind of, that's how you find out it exists. And then to access this, to learn more, you have to give your details, yeah? And it's a great build your own digital experience in the home design space. You can do things like custom layout creation. So you can put your own kitchen details, which is also giving IKEA all the information of you to do more regarding your kind of what you want within your kitchen. So you're also, it serves a dual purpose for them. You can experiment with different cabinet configurations, all that kind of thing. You get real-time updates. So if you swap a cabinet color, it's immediate, which is quite interesting and kind of wonderful for those that are looking quickly to make decisions or to try things out. You do get guided assistance. So the built-in tips help you to kind of understand how to do this better and to get more out of your kitchen. And then once you've finished your design, the tool generates a shopping list that can be reviewed online or with an in-store IKEA specialist. So it's high engagement. It is hands-on. You're giving your individual the confidence to do this, to see how your products work, all that kind of wonderful stuff. And by visualizing every detail, customers feel more assured, yeah? And this shows how an immersive hands-on design tool can transform a traditionally complex in-person process into a streamlined digital journey, boosting both customer satisfaction and your conversion rates overall. So that's a great way on how to get people really interested in your kind of sales funnel process. Because then after that, we hit the critical decision stage, yeah? And this is where in the funnel, we need to be giving prospects all the information they need to confidently say yes. Yeah. So your traditional MarTech needs here are things like chatbots and live chat solutions, which provide instant answers to last minute questions and reduce decision friction. We have personalized landing pages. So we dynamically change content based on user data or behavior. And also your social proof integrations. So displaying reviews, case studies, or testimonials automatically at key decision points. And the authenticity angle here is we need to make sure there is an opportunity for real-time human support. even with wonderful, great chatbots in place, ensure a real human is just a click away for higher priced or complex offers. And also make sure you have case studies with real people that can be kind of tangibly seen to be real. Feature genuine customer success stories. Yeah. And then you can do things like an impact estimator tool. This is one that's coming up quite a lot at the moment. And this is an interactive way, or a results calculator kind of, that pulls real-time data or prompts users for their own information to show the concrete benefits of your product or service. So rather than inflated claims, people not understanding how your thing will work for them, show real customer examples that align with the estimated results. For instance, if your impact estimator predicts a 20% cost saving, pair that with a genuine case study from a client. Yeah. So there's so much marketing technology that can do this for you out there. So what actually can you add to truly get more out of your sales funnel? There's a really great piece of software called Score App, if anybody has seen that or tried that, where you can integrate something like this very, very easily now. And what we need to be doing is using MarTech to be different, not just funneling people through the same processes that every other brand has done. So at what stage can you make a difference or make a choice that elevates you and makes you memorable compared to everybody else? We all know that we're going to get an email straight away after we put some data in somewhere. But what if that email had a video that was sent in a way that kind of spoke to me because of the hyper personalization? What if I could see within the awareness stage after I've discovered you, how you could directly impact me as a consumer? Because that's the kind of stuff that sets us apart, right? So then we move into the action stage. So this is where we're ensuring a seamless purchase and the process is positive because it is their first experience with us in general. And then the traditional MarTech needs that we have here. So it's a great e-commerce or payment integration. So streamlined, secure checkout forms with autofill and multiple payment options. One-click upsells or downsells so that we are scooping in and improving that conversion, especially for those that maybe don't want to go with the price that we've offered within the initial funnel. Create a wonderful onboarding automation, so immediate welcome emails, how-to guides, or product tutorials triggered upon purchase. And your authenticity angle could be personal thank you messages. So swap generic order confirmations for a warm, heartfelt note from the founder or a key team member. You'll be surprised. I think when I kind of looked into this and the e-commerce kind of use of authenticity within the checkout system, I think it was only 7% of people ever changed the thank you message. They just left it within the auto systems. And use things like customer first language. So use empathetic copy that reassures buyers that they've made the right choice, acknowledging any anxieties about spending. And then also what we can do here is out of the box kind of MarTech. What options do we have? And do something like a surprise. So include a small, thoughtful token, which could be digital or physical, that new customers don't expect or returning customers don't expect. So it could be a surprise coupon, a refer a friend, all that kind of thing. Something that marketing technology can offer these people that you don't have to do any extra work for. Yeah. So once we've hit the action stage, we're then rolling into retention and advocacy. And this is incredibly important because, as I have said before, it is much more expensive to find a new customer than it is to retain one. And we want to here turn one-time customers into loyal fans who recommend us to others. Our traditional MarTech needs here are things like loyalty and referral programs, so automated reward systems that offer points, discounts, all that kind of wonderful perks for repeat purchases and referrals. We then have things like survey and feedback tools where we're collecting insights into user satisfaction and product improvements, triggering personalized follow-ups based on kind of feedback. And of course, our wonderful CRM, that heart of the MarTech stack, comes back in to track purchase history and engage to tailor ongoing offers or content. So a great thing here within the authenticity angle is to build community, so foster that sense of belonging through exclusive forums, online groups, or events where customers can share experiences and feel connected. And then also kind of prioritize things like storytelling over promotion. So share updates on how your business is growing, learn from your customer feedbacks, hint at new kind of products, tech, services that are coming in. And then one of the wonderful ways that people are using MarTech as an out of the box, which isn't in the traditional way that we do funnels, is things like a pay it forward initiative. So this is where you can encourage loyal customers to nominate a friend to receive a coupon, or if they buy one, their friend can get one at half price. And this spark of goodwill is a great way to keep people in that advocacy kind of process. So it's for me, when we look at the kind of opportunities we have within a funnel, MarTech does the normal standard things it needs to. So it sends the emails out that pushes people to X. But when we start actually using MarTech in a out of the box way, in a way that is not expected, that is when we become memorable. That is when more people start to go down that funnel and kind of into the action, the purchase, and then into loyalty. Overall, improving our whole conversion and the reason that we create these funnels in the first place. Yeah, but there are some pitfalls to avoid. Over automation leading to generic interactions. So don't rely too heavily on templated emails, chatbots, and triggered messages. The way that you can avoid this is use automation to handle repetitive tasks and basic inquiries, but insert human touch points for complex questions or high value leads. Change up those messages, change up those templates, yeah? So your communications feel timely and relevant, yeah? We also have things like poor data hygiene and segmentation. So the pitfall here is inaccurate data, outdated CRM entries, or sloppy segmentation can cause misfire within automated campaigns. If an individual receives an email they feel is not for them, they are then not going to purchase from you. The higher percentage is, they will then just fall out of the funnel. We need to routinely cleanse and make sure that there isn't any duplications within the database, and use clear dynamic segments to ensure messages align with where the leads are in their journey. We also often ignore the context of automation. And the pitfall here is that we often send the right message at the wrong time, or the wrong message at the right time. And that can feel intrusive or tone deaf, damaging trust overall. And how do we avoid that? So we need to build behavior triggered automation rules. So download or a page visit rather than just date-based triggers, for example. And also consider external context, so holidays, market news, that might actually affect how your audience perceives your brand's timing. Yeah. And then we have this kind of, we're missing the on-ramp to human interaction. So the motorway, what we want is people to just carry on down the motorway through the funnel to the destination, which is purchase, and then chilling at the services, which is like advocacy, right? And this is where we're failing. We're forcing customers to deal exclusively with the funnel itself, with bots and automated email threads, which can lead to confusion and frustration. And we need to be able to provide a clear path to live chat or direct human support for those who need it. Make sure escalations happen seamlessly when an automation detects a complex question or a high value lead, and then route it to a real person ASAP, yeah? Give that like on-ramp for human kind of interaction within all aspects of the funnel. One other failure is that a lot of funnels neglect brand voice consistency. So automation platforms can spit out messages that sound inconsistent across channels. One set of messages might be hyper formal, while others are casual. So we need to make sure we're checking in with those brand voice guidelines and share them with anyone that may need this, right? And we also need to audit our automation messages at intervals to verify tone, style, and make sure things are still consistent. So an audit is always a good idea. It's also incredibly true that funnels often overlook mobile-friendly experiences. And that is often the pitfall there, is that automated funnels designed without a mobile-first approach can lead to frustrating user experiences. And we need to just make sure that we use responsive templates and test before we kind of let it out into the ether, the big wide world. We also fail to measure customer sentiment. So we can look through things like click-through rates and conversion metrics without gauging satisfaction or emotional resonance. And this can blind us to negative impacts of automation. So we need to make sure we have customer feedback loops, so surveys and things like that, to understand if the automation is truly doing and hitting the right emotional notes, with that person. And encourage open-ended feedback within all aspects of your funnel so that you can iterate and move forward and avoid confusion, because that's the worst thing that happens within a funnel. Somebody gets confused or frustrated, they're not going to do what you say. They're not even going to take in the wonderful things that you could do for them. It's just a straight out, And then another problem that we use within those kind of funnels is using static rules and not adaptive logic. Relying solely on outdated if X then Y workflows can lead to stale campaigns that don't evolve. And user behavior changes and market changes. And if we want our funnels to last and stay the distance, then we really need to have workflows that truly support that. And then we need to employ things like machine learning or at least advanced conditional logic that adapts triggers based on those evolving customer journeys. We need to just check in and review workflow performance data and update rules accordingly, add new triggers or remove underperforming sequences, for example. And then we need to really lean in to this, and that is understanding the importance of personalization at scale. And the pitfall here is that we think personalization just means plugging in a first name or job title. It is actually much more than that. And by leveraging progressive profiling and robust data points like past purchases, referral sources, content engagement, and we want to deliver hyper-relevant content at the right moment within the sales funnel to the right person in a way that they want to be sent information to. And we need to make sure that we are segmenting leads meticulously, ensuring that our automation can speak to specific pain points or use cases overall. So we just want to make sure that these pitfalls we can avoid. They've been brought to light, and there's wonderful ways that we can actually avoid them. And it is a balancing act. So we want to be balancing efficiency with empathy. Automation should free our teams to focus, or ourselves or our brands or organizations to focus on high touch interactions that truly require human empathy or expertise. We want to segment and personalize, so avoid irrelevant or robotic messaging with good data and intelligent segmentation. And we need to be testing and optimizing continuously. And by avoiding these pitfalls, you'll maintain the personal human edge that keeps your prospects engaged and loyal, despite ramping up automation to handle a growing influx of leads. And for me, if I go all the way back to the beginning and we have a look at this kind of funnel, we want to be the most optimum at each part of these kind of processes. What we tend to do is we want everything to be linear. We want them to go bang, 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 bang. purchase. Yeah, that's what we want, because it's the simplest for us and we assume it's the simplest for them. But what is truly starting to kind of happen is that because of the complexity of the way that we now need to service and support individuals to purchase from us online, it starts to become more complicated. And in that when it does become more complicated, what we're tending to do is to become the same as everybody else. We're not giving ourselves the opportunity to truly think out of the box and what marketing technology could do at each of the stages to develop and give us more opportunity of conversion within these wonderful funnels that we have created. And that's what I want you to go away from today thinking, okay, so this is what we do at this kind of level. This is what we do to keep this individual. This is what we expect them to do. What else could we offer with all this wonderful technology that we have at our fingertips and is within our MarTech stack? What else could we offer that makes us more consumable, more understandable, and more wonderful as a brand to interact with? Because like I say, I've given one example per kind of stage, but there's so many different things out there. Even by sending a video instead of a written email can improve your conversion if a segment of your individuals prefer video. Why are we not servicing those individuals that are interested in us in a way that is suited to them? The one size fits all does not work within a funnel anymore, and the if X then Y doesn't work anymore. We need to be much more fluid in the options that we give within a funnel moving forward. So I hope that you enjoyed that today, and I just want to highlight our MarTech Club. It's a free Slack channel that you can join, and it basically allows you to have a chat with me and other people who are navigating the waters of MarTech and AI within marketing. It's totally free. And I pop in all my slides and my notes in there every 2 weeks, sorry. And at the college, they have a virtual open evening tomorrow, which you can join with this QR code, where they will discuss all the different kind of courses and options that you have within the Oxford College of Marketing. Now, one of my favorites is the CIM Accredited Awards. I actually run the AI and marketing one, which are great niche kind of courses that will allow you to really dive into the ever-changing world of marketing. And because they run over a shorter amount of time, you can become certified incredibly quickly with those kind of processes there. So thank you so much for attending today. We have another one in 1 week's time because we go back onto the normal schedule. I just didn't want to miss out on this one today. So if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat. And if not, you can always find me on LinkedIn or join the MarTech Club to be able to answer those questions. Oh, there's a quick question here. Is that for the MarTech Club, Anna? I can put the link in as well. That might be easier. But yeah, it's quite fun, and you can have a chat with all the other people that are kind of have come to different sessions or kind of joined the club in different ways, all supported through the Oxford College of Marketing. So just here you go. Oh, there you go. So I hope to see you in there. There's like 90, 100 people in there. And I pop my slides in there after every session. So thank you so much for attending, and I hope to see you at one soon.